DJ Dirt's fucking up. It's been a while, making noise and distracting his bodily emotions on my Christian podcast. Hi everybody, welcome to Lauren's Dreamhouse. I'm Lauren LaRoe and this is the Dreamhouse. Welcome to your Dreamhouse. We have producer, we got DJ Dirt in the house.
Yo, it's DJ Dirt.
It's DJ Dirt in the house. I'm first and foremost, I would like to address the things that have been said about me in the media. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to address the absence, the unplanned absence. It's been a really wild... DJ Dirt's fucking up. It's been a wild, making noise and distracting his bodily emotions on my Christian podcast. I am sorry it's been so long since the last Lauren's Dreamhouse, all 7 or 8 of you who watch it every week. I know that I've touched base with most of you and have apologized in person, or at least on Instagram, because I want to continue a consistent pace. But things in life have been so wild, and by life I mean the show, everything is going really well. And by the show, I mean the Cigarette Club, I guess. If you're new here, because I know I have some new subscribers from the Tom Myers episode, which is exciting, and that was a ton of fun. I think I did one episode after that. Yeah, I did. After that one show where I was drunk. I think the last one that I did, I was drunk. Anywho, I'm working on the Cigarette Club, which is my gigantic show. I swear to Christ.
My leg keeps shaking. I got restless leg.
Well, rest it.
Okay. Wait, repositioning.
Fuck.
Okay, I'm good. Please carry on.
So, the train of thought has it crashed.
Cigarette Club.
Yeah, I know.
Tell them about Cigarette Club.
The Cigarette Club is my giant show at the Chelsea Music Hall. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do. They're going very fast. We're very excited for what we have planned. Every day, new things happen. Earlier today, we added a special guest. I'm not sure if we're announcing him yet, or if we're gonna keep it a surprise or whatever. But that happened today because Tom, my partner, Tom Monda, Captain Cream, he and I had a discussion about a certain portion of the show and how it could potentially have been a disaster. And it might have been our first fight, truthfully, as a creative couple. He, he's a musical genius. He's an extraordinary human being. I couldn't be more blessed to have the privilege of working with him and the rest of his band, who I would really like during our rehearsal if we could all do a big podcast together and we can kind of get to know everybody and do a little thing like that. But I'll get to that in a second. The band, Tom and I have been working together for the better part of 5 months, I think, on this show since about May. And May, June, July, August, September, October. It'll be 6 months very soon. Anywho, we have been working very seamlessly and smoothly. Everything's been great. And then it came to this middle number that we're doing, because the show is structured in a way that truly no other variety shows are structured in this way, and I think that that's very exciting. A typical variety show will have all the comics and then music at the end, and I agree with the notion that having like music, like full-on music throughout, can be very obnoxious, but we have developed a way to make this very smooth and, you know, intentional and very just unique to what the Cigarette Club will be related to other shows. I'm gonna fire DJ Dirt, and that's just all there is to it, basically.
This is, I'm what holds the show together. You'd be firing your Ben.
Yeah, and guess what?
You'd have backlash.
The Tim Dillon show and the rest of the world spins on. Oh, Christ.
Sip of water.
Sip of water. So and I hope Tom, he's gonna listen to this and he's gonna be like worried about what I'm about to say, but I'm not. Like, it's more on me being like a neurotic piece of shit than it is on him, because he's been doing nothing but hard work on this all. And I was just really excited about the middle number that we had planned, and I am a psycho when it comes to stuff like this. So I would be going to the gym and have the track on, you know, playing over and over and over and over and over again, just on a loop, like 50 times while I'm working out. And I've been doing that every day for like 2 months or like a month and a half, or every day that I work out. And I've just been like perfecting it, and it's a very hard piece, so I was like proud of myself for getting it. And then he raised the concern. He was like, there's so many moving parts to it, and we only have one rehearsal with the full band. Excuse me. I also have been very, very, very sick too. Like COVID level sick, but never testing positive, and had gigs the entire time. You know, it petered out a couple, you know, I guess 2 weeks ago maybe, but whatever. So that was another reason why I just couldn't bring myself to do anything. I was supposed to do video stuff for the show too, couldn't do it. Whatever. It's just been, my body has been taken to levels, to extents that are crazy. Oh, my mom finally sent me the pictures of my puppy in a Halloween costume. We will address that later. So Tom and I are talking about this middle number, and I've been drilling it, but he had no idea. And like, it doesn't matter how much work I put into this, because at the end of the day, if it's not feasible for the show, then it's just not feasible for the show. And he was like, I think we need to pick something else. And this was like a week ago, maybe, or like a week and a half ago. And I was like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? And I was like, I've been working so hard on it. And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm working hard too. And I'm like, I didn't mean it like that. Like, I felt bad because I didn't want him to think that I wasn't appreciative of him and all of his hard work, because I am, and I tell him how much I love and appreciate him all the time. So hopefully that message is clear. But we're all very stressed out right now about the show and just trying to make it as good as possible. And it is going to be great. There are no problems. We have finally ironed everything out, and that is where this new special guest came in, because I had a really funny idea randomly at the gym, which is where all of my thinking happens, because I don't think it's possible for me to have thoughts unless I'm moving my body, which is extraordinary for someone who works from home all day and sits in this spot, in this tiny little Dreamhouse that I live in. Speaking of which, I ran into my landlord today, which was wild, because he's a crazy person, and I'll get into that in a second too. But so we had our first TIFF. Tom and I are in it for the long haul. He's my creative soulmate. We all know this. And I will jump in front of a train for him. So anything that he says goes, and we figured it out. And pretty quickly in that TIFF, I was like, okay, survival mode kicked in, and I was like, what's happening here? It's not that we lost something, it's that we gained an opportunity to make the show better. So what I should be doing is saying thank you. thank you for realizing this early enough that we can fix it. Thank you for opening up things in a direction that is exciting and fresh and reignites the whole thing. Not that we aren't drilling this every day and living and breathing it, but like, you know, it's just something new to get excited about. And I am excited about it. And he doesn't really even know what it is yet. I told him what the song is going to be, and he's scoring it and arranging it now. Like literally now. I just messaged him. But I didn't really explain to him like what's going on or who the guest is or like anything like that. So, you know, he just got back from AC with Thank You Scientist. They played a really huge show. And that was, I just had a brain fart because I wanted to say something, but I realized I can't say it. But remind me to tell you something after the show. Keyword, article. Okay. This is what we do, and this is actually what I do with everybody, where if they say, one of my biggest pet peeves in life, so wrapping up the Tom thing, Tom, I love you very much. You're a star, you're beautiful, you're my moon and sun, and I can't live without you, and you're making all my dreams come true, and we're making each other's dreams come true. So I love and appreciate you, and thank you, and I'm even more excited about the show now than I was before when we had the old number that we were working on, and everything is cool, and I'm 30 million times more excited now. But when it comes to people telling me, like, one of my biggest pet peeves ever is when people say, remind me to tell you something later that's crazy, or like, oh my god, I gotta tell you this thing, and they're like really excited about it, and they inspire that kind of excitement in me as well. There's literally nothing worse. Think of things, nothing worse than this, okay? When someone forgets what they're trying to say, you know, and they were so jazzed about it, and they give you, you know, maybe you're like out with your friends and it's like tea about like a friend that's also in the room, and you're like, remind me to tell you about something later, and you're like, oh my god, like this is about to be full of juice in my mouth, and then you go later and then you're like, what was that thing? And they were like, oh man, I don't remember. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, I was excited about it for a year, and now it's nothing. So what I do to solve that problem, which is like a very no one else cares. Does that bother you at all?
That bothers me so much.
So much, or like not that much?
I have to think about it.
Keyword. No, so I tell people to give me a keyword. So, and that always helps. Feel free to take this life hack. It solves it every single time.
It's transformative.
It is transformative. And if something, and it has saved me so many stories, because the first question you ask later when it needs to come up again is, what was that thing you were going to tell me? And they go, I don't know. And you go, well, the keyword was, and in this case, it's article, and you know, the keyword is dessert, and then they'll be like, oh, I remember, and then it's like, yes, I fucking saved it, you know? It's remarkable. Use it for yourself. It's fantastic. So yeah, we do that, and that helps a lot, but I just I guess teased for like 4.5 minutes about a thing that I'm not going to tell you, so oops. Wow, stealing Crystalia's bits, but also, oops.
That's okay.
Scootily bop. So I ran into my landlord today, who I'm not sure if we've spoken about my landlord on the pod again. Oh, also, have I addressed the makeup yet? I just kind of like barely mentioned it.
No, not at all.
I keep so we're at a stage now where today is Halloween. It's October 31st, which is always, it seems, when Halloween is.
Almost every year.
Almost every year. And, you know, the show, The Cigarette Club, is December 2nd. And November 2nd will be a month before the show, if you're following me. Does this all make sense so far? So we're really like in the thick of it figuring out all of the nitty-gritty details. And I am dancing like a maniac, working with the t-shirt people, t-shirt person, Joe, who we'll get into him in the future. But yeah, I've been I was going over my dance moves with DJ Dirt last night, and
Posture. It's all about posture.
it's all about posture. They were like, so I was actually talking to Spencer today, Spencer Daniel and Daniel A, the Human Zoo. And I was talking about how which by the way, Human Zoo had a fabulous performance at either LA Vision or La Vision Studios. I don't know. The jury's out on that. No one has given me a direct answer, but it was a great show. Spencer and Human Zoo, Joey Papa did a phenomenal job. I brought Lil Yurt there. If you remember Lil Yurt from episode 3, she was all about it. She got really fucked up during the show, and then after the show, I played the same song over and over again in the car to fuck with her, to see if she would realize it, and she never realized it. And I played a song 5 times in a row, and I was like, hey, the song's been playing, I had a bit going, and now it's just tragic that you haven't noticed it, so therefore the bit is over, and this is it. And she got really mad at me, and she was like, drive the car. So I was talking to Spencer. One moment, please.
Just taking a sip.
Hold for sit. Hold for gloss. I'm sorry, there's nothing I love more than having makeup on. And actually, I'm not sorry about that. But I was
You're
talking...
doing the thing. You keep saying, I gotta tell you about what I was talking about with Spencer, and you keep digressing.
I'm coming back to it.
You're not giving us the tea.
DJ!
We need the tea.
Dirt! Okay, it's not the tea. So I was talking to Spencer, who I also love very much. And Spencer was like, who choreographed the show? Well, no, he asked me who who wrote the music, and I was like, Tom and I. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, fucking, we did, like, why is this a shock to you, you know? But I wasn't mad at him because that's like a normal question. But then Greg, who was over last night, was like, who choreographed the show? And I was like, me. And people ask, who did the flyer? And I'm like, me. And, you know, who is booking it? I'm like, fucking me. Like, you know what I mean? And Amy's producing it, but like, it's always, and maybe it shouldn't be insulting because it is a lot of stuff and people probably expect there to be more pieces in the puzzle, but I'm always like, why is it so shocking that I did it? Like, I would like for people to be like, for people to assume that I'm capable of doing these things, but maybe it's not like that. Spencer was explaining earlier that like, sometimes people just don't want to assume that you're doing all of these things and they want to give credit to the right people. And I'm like, that's fine. I guess I just have like a complex about people not thinking that I'm capable of doing it all, because I am making a lot of the portions of my costumes too. I just got like all of this paint and tape and fucking rhinestones and doing my shoes. I got all this fabric. I'm making a large dressing robe that I'm going to take off in the beginning of the show, but I'm not going to spoil the whole opening number of it all. But yeah, Spencer and I were talking about that, and I am going to do my makeup for the show too. I was going to hire my sister to do it, and I think she might still do it if I want her to, because she's going to be like stage managing Lil Yurt on the mic, of course. But I also like I'm a control freak and I've been let down a trillion times. So if anything goes wrong, I'd rather blame myself for it than blame somebody else, or like just not have a grasp on it. And that's also another reason why Tom is so important to me, because like when Tom's involved, I don't have to worry about anything. Like, Tom's got it. And Tom taught me like how to start a business. I had to start the LLC to make sure that all this stuff is like above the line and done right, and that everyone's getting paid properly, and that everything's balanced, and we file our taxes like good Americans and whatever. We're like bitches, file our taxes like fucking pussies, basically. But that was like the gist of what my dad was saying in the car. My dad was driving me from my hometown back to the Dreamhouse, and he was like, I feel like he could have gotten away with a lot. And I was like, well, not like away like separate from Tom, like getting away with it, like we both would be able to like do it all under the table. And I'm like, it's more complicated than that. I still don't truly understand all of it, but I trust Tom, and Tom is telling me to do all these things, and I'm doing all these things, and everything's gonna be straightforward, and I'll be the best American, I guess, that's ever lived. So when you see that new highway being built, just know that the cigarette club and the tax dollars thereof are contributing to the repair of society. So you're fucking welcome, folks. Sip. Thanks, Dirt.
Just your support.
Yeah, so I've been pushing my body to limits. I did yesterday, I had a 5-hour dance rehearsal. And of those 5 hours, I danced, I would say, a straight 3.5 of them. And the rest of the time was like, not ever dicking around, but just like, you know, resting, drinking water, talking about stage direction with Amy. Amy came for the last 2 hours of it. And we went over, I really hope that's like the heater and not mice. You know, I don't know if you can hear that. Oh God, yeah, Tom bought me a bunch of fake mice when he found out that I had a mouse, and he put them in my home. And that's a nice thing to do. When you spend many sleepless nights worrying about if you have mice anymore, which I don't think I do. I think I got the 2, haven't seen any more droppings. You hear that, right?
That sounds like the heat.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But these noises give me...
You're a little traumatized.
Yeah, I have trauma.
Even when we saw that cute mouse at the train station.
That was not cute, yeah.
It was a little cute mouse boy.
Dirt and I went to... What were we doing earlier?
We were going
to the mall?
We were going to the Cheesecake Factory.
No, we decided to go to the Cheesecake Factory after we... What, did I get my nails done? Is that what I did?
Yes.
Yeah. The best nail salon on the planet is in Hoboken, New Jersey. I got these done. I have 1 chip, but I've had them for 3 weeks at this point. And for $35, you can't beat it, folks. You really can't beat it. So, yeah, I got my nails done, and Dave lives right there. Dirt lives right there. And
am I only Dirt on the podcast?
You're DJ Dirt.
All right.
DJ Dirt on the mic.
I do what I have to.
Yeah. You know, there's Dirt.
There's your Dirt.
Your Dirt and making you squirt.
Ayo.
That's what my mom is. That's what my mom will be. She'll be squirt. Yeah, so I get my nails done, and then we walked to the light rail, and we were trying to go home, and the light rail, for some reason, just forsaken us. It hath forsaken us. And, excuse me, it said it was going to be there in like 12 minutes, and then it was like 18, and then it was 22 or whatever. We were like, all right, fuck this. Let's just walk home. And then we were like, well, let's walk to the Cheesecake Factory. So we walked to the Cheesecake Factory, had a delightful meal. A delightful, predictable chain restaurant meal.
We got blasted. We
got fucking blasted, bro. Yo, did I get blasted or what?
You got buffalo blasted.
The waiter, there's nothing I love more than ordering so much food that a waiter looks at me and goes like, huh? And then like I was laughing with DJ Dirt because I was going so hard. Also, I didn't go that hard on the food. I just ordered a lot of food and then took most of it home. In case any of you were wondering if I was fat, which I know is something that comes up a lot externally from my brain. So like I was eating it was perceived that I was eating so much, and then he gave me the check, like I was, because I was so ugly that I was the boy. So you know, but then I gave it to Dirt. I gave the check to Dirt. Thanks, Dirt. And Dirt picked up the tab, so that was nice. Especially because mommy's broke on rhinestones, which is real. That's real. But I think I was talking about makeup. I've been doing my makeup like crazy because I need to rehearse in it, and I need to practice wearing eyelashes all the time, basically, and doing them right. Because doing eyelashes, fake eyelashes, which, shocker, I don't know if you're surprised, but these are not my real eyelashes. And this is not my boyfriend. That's George Benson. Woo! Yeah, so wearing eyelashes is like something that you have to practice doing. And I don't know how I'm gonna do my makeup for the show because I wanted to match my opening number costume, which I will not show or leak. Contrary to what you all believe, the costume that I keep posting in my stories, that gold one, is not gonna be in the show, I don't think. It's just like a fringy, sparkly thing that helps me feel what it's like to be dancing in heels and tights and a sparkly thing. Excuse me, once more. I'm just a gassy bitch. I'm like a star. Yeah, so I'm just practicing a lot of things all the time, and I always have packages and costumes and sparkly things laying around, which is how I want to live. And I love that more than anything. If you know me, you know that if there's one thing that is true, it is that a bitch loves to dazzle. And damn it, if I don't look like Cher from space, you will all pay. But, yeah, so I ran into my landlord today, Tommy Two Scoops, and Tommy Two Scoops is my landlord. Why do we call him Tommy Two Scoops? Because he owned an ice cream restaurant, and there were rumors about him. An ice cream restaurant, an ice cream department store. The departments being the flavors. An ice cream destination, an ice cream shop, an ice cream store,
ice cream store shop.
As if that's better. I'm not listening to you anymore.
Restaurant?
An ice cream restaurant, an ice cream depot. We have an ice cream depot in my hometown, but anywho, there were rumors about him like flashing people on purpose or by accident. I can't confirm or deny. He's a good person and I love him a lot, and sometimes there are just urban legends about the town jesters, as it were. He's a delightful man, and the Two Scoop part of the name comes from both the ice cream and the rumor of the flashing, which alludes to his balls. So there's that. But no, he's great. He only tried to fuck me one time and took no for an answer, and that is all I can ask for, personally. No, he's great. He was like, have you met my girlfriend? And I was like, you have a girlfriend? And he was like, yeah, she's a labradoodle. She's beautiful. I got her up in the apartment. And I'm like, Tommy, you crazy boy. He did have a dog that he was watching for a friend / real girlfriend, maybe, I think. And I dropped my deposit for the apartment and that was a big deposit too. Damn, that's gonna be fun to get back eventually.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get my deposit from me and Brian's apartment too in like 3 months, which
nice.
like $1,000 or $1,100 or whatever.
Money.
Use it to pay off the cigarette club credit card before the interest kicks in. Business, folks. Sponsored by Tom Monda and Captain Cream Band. But so Tommy Two Scoops. Well, I met Ariel Isaac Norman when I did my show at the Stand a week and a half ago, and she's delightful and she's a killer and she's awesome, and she's like, I want to do a show in Jersey City, like a weekly show. Do you know any places? And I was like, well, my landlord has Brightside Tavern, and that's his place, and they do comedy there all the time. They do jazz, they do movie screenings, they have like a big back room, and then they have a really cool, intimate but very beautiful upstairs room as well. But I was under the impression that they had a bunch of other shows because our buddies run shows there all the time. But apparently that relationship, like the comedy there is like no more. There's like one a month now. So it was kind of serendipitous that I ran into him because Ariel wants to do a show with me weekly, and now we'll probably do it there. So I asked him if we can meet tomorrow at 5 to talk about that, and if all goes well, then we will likely have a Wednesday or a Tuesday weekly joint at Brightside Tavern, which is a lot of fun. And there's a lot of people in this area that I think would be down for that because there's like nothing going on Wednesdays. Everything is always packed on Thursdays, and you never know what to prioritize. So this will be fun. And there's a lot of people in New York too who want to come out here and do stuff on like the off days, one of them being Wednesday, because everything gets slammed up on the weekends. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, if it all works out, which I hope it does, you'll see it on my story.
They're loud pants.
You're a loud boy.
I should have put on quieter pants, babe. I don't know what to tell you.
Tragic. Men want to take me down. All the men in my life want to destroy me. Tommy Two Scoops, DJ Dirt,
George Benson.
No, he'll never hurt me. He has not and he will never. I love George Benson very, very much.
He's a legend.
You shut up. I got some magic beans in here. Maybe one day I'll do a house tour for the Patreon, which I also have apologized to the 3 people who subscribe to my Patreon that I barely have updated since I started it, but it was mostly to cover the Chet Hanks thing, which has imploded deeply.
Well, it's a surprise.
Yes, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Look at my... Anyway, and yeah, Tommy was like, what apartment were you in again? And I told him the apartment. He was like, that's a good one. I should kick you out because that's worth a lot more than what you're paying. And I'm like, hey, like, you like me. We're friends. Like, please don't forget that. Like, this apartment is my sanctuary. It is the best thing that's happened to me this year besides the cigarette club. This apartment it's keeping me sane. It's my sanctuary. It's perfect. I love every inch of it. I appreciate every inch of it deeply. And my balcony rips so hard that it's everyone's favorite place in the world, right? Like,
it's a great place.
It's the quiet place. It's the calm place. And I love it very, very, very much. How much time have we done? Wow, 32 minutes. Not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So Tommy did that. At one point today, I was going to go into the city to buy some more rhinestones because I don't have many left and I need to cover my shoes. And wouldn't you know it, I like Googled rhinestones, where to buy rhinestones in New York City, thinking like a fashion student article would come up doing a roundup of all the places to buy rhinestones. There's nowhere to buy anything. You can't buy anything anywhere. It's tragic. Literally, what did people do before Amazon or before online commerce at large? Like, I'm here on the roster of all the stores in the fashion district, and I'm calling these people and I'm like, do you have rhinestones? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, are you lying to me? Like, that's crazy. Why would you say it like that? Like, are they flat back rhinestones? Are they heat fixed rhinestones? Like, what are we working with here? And they're just like, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna make the trip there and not gonna find anything. And you know, sometimes it just really do be like that.
Sometimes you need the clapback rhinestones, and then they only have the heat ring.
Flat back, not clap back. You're like the worst.
We always make that mistake in life at one time or another.
Never me. Oh, someone recognized me in public again. Crazy. Unreal and crazy. And I can't believe my sister was there to see it. I was at the Human Zoo show in Asbury Park at La Vision, LA Vision, at LA Fitness, the concert at LA Fitness. And I'm having a cigarette outside, and a chick comes up to me who was like in a costume and makeup. So initially when I didn't recognize her, I was like, fuck, like this is harder now, because I'm, number one, like I have face blindness. I don't know you. I could have seen you a trillion times. I don't know who you are, and I never will, to be frank. And the makeup made it harder. So she comes outside, and without saying like hi or anything, she just goes, mother? And I was like, what? Like, and you'd think that like me of all people would be like hip to what that means, because I created the lore. And she was like, well, you're like everyone's mom. And I was like, oh yes, hello my child. And I started like riffing with her a little bit, trying to like figure out who she was. And after like 3 minutes of a full conversation and like joking around, I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to do this to you while we're in the middle of conversation, but do I know you? Like, have we met? And she was like, no, I just know you from Lauren's list. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. And my sister looks at me like, no way. And I was like, I'm glad you're here to see this, because that's nuts. Like, I don't come down here often at all, and I didn't think I had clients down there either. And it turns out she is not a client. She literally has just heard of Lauren's list through her friends, who I have hooked up with other people, and you know, making magic. And she was like, the guy that you set my friend up with stole my barrette. And I was like, well, I guess I owe you a barrette. Yeah, that's a beret. So there's beret, and then there's barrette, which I think are spelled the same. But a beret is the French disc. It's a little head crepe. And then a barrette is like what I have like clipped back here. It's like a little hair clip. A barrette. I mean. Sorry. So yeah, I was like, okay, I owe you a barrette. And that was really wild. And I can't believe that happens occasionally. Because when was the last time that happened? It was like recently. I was like, somebody knew me from Lauren's list. You don't remember?
I don't remember.
I probably... Oh, no. When I was doing Greg's show in Brooklyn, someone knew me from the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
A stranger. A male stranger. Hey, male stranger. I think his name's Matt. If it's not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, what else did I do? My note for Tommy Two Scoops was, saw Tommy Two Scoops and he wants to replace me, heart. He better not. Where the hell would I go? This apartment is flawless. Balcony.
They even fixed the door handle.
No, not really. I mean, it's so fucked up.
It used to be so bad.
Used to be so bad, but definitely don't want to talk about that. I'm back on Twitter, folks. Follow me at Lauren Des Leroux. Contrary to popular belief, it's not De Leroux, it's Des. And the Des comes from when I had my first podcast ever called Touchy Subjects in high school, which we had to start as a project but maintain it through the year. We were talking about like sex stuff, and I didn't want my parents to, like, I didn't want it to be tracked back to me, so I came up with a fake name that was Desiree, because what? That's a flagrantly stupid name, and it was a flagrantly stupid podcast, I must say. But the Des came from that, because when I was coming up with my fake name, because Spoiler alert, everybody, Lauren LaRoe is not my real name, but you'll never know. You'll never know what my real name is as long and as far as you live, because some of you be living far, and that's none of my business. But yeah, it's Lauren Des LaRoe, not Lauren DeLaRue, and not the way that you don't introduce me on stage is this girl is very beautiful and I don't know anything about her, but here she is. I'd rather have Lauren DeLaRue than something disrespectful like that. But what are you gonna do? I guess ask is what you would do. But anyway, I'm looking right now at celebrity Halloween costumes. Lizzo was Marge Simpson, and I think that's crazy.
She was Marge Simpson?
Marge Simpson, yeah.
With the hair?
Yeah, well, yeah. But celebrity costumes are fun because, like, they spend a lot of money on it. So they're, like, Comic-Con level cosplays. That, I guess, doesn't mean much because Comic-Con has widely varying degrees of professionalism. Jojo Siwa was Draco Malfoy. Do you know who Jojo Siwa is?
I know who Draco Malfoy is.
Right. Jojo Siwa is
Jojo Seawater?
Siwa. She's a very colorful lesbian, and
aren't they all?
No. She was on Dance Moms when she was like 8 years old, because all the girls on that show were like 8, and Dance Moms, that was like Abby Lee Miller was the choreographer of the company. It was Abby Lee Miller Dance Studio or whatever, and she was like such a fucking crazy bitch and would just be screaming at these kids all the time, and like that was the show. So cool. But Jojo Siwa, I was talking actually with Amy about this yesterday, and I was like, Dance Moms was the one show that I was like, this is just disposable TV and nothing will ever come of these people. And here we are. Jojo Siwa is one of like the richest people on the planet.
What?
Yeah, she's a YouTuber now and like a overall like influencer personality. She's I think 20 at this point. And yeah, you gotta look her up.
I'm looking her up.
And her whole thing is rainbows and color, and she just like loves looking like a what's it called? Paul Frank or Lisa Frank? What's Paul Frank? Is that a hot dog?
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Wait. Paul Frank? No, okay. Paul Frank is the monkey. Lisa Frank is the colorful, like every like girly girl had notebooks and pencils and.
This is not what I was expecting.
I know.
I thought she was gonna be black.
Why?
I don't know. Just the way you're describing, that was the mental image that popped in my head. I don't know why.
That doesn't make any sense.
I just wasn't expecting her to be white.
Well, she's white. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I didn't mean it. But look up Lisa Frank too and see if you remember that. Like very, very popular aesthetic when we were growing up.
The person or the brand?
Lisa Frank, the brand. Yeah, I do not know what Lisa Frank looks like. And I'm sorry, girl, but I do not care. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on.
Very colorful.
Yeah, so that's Jojo Siwa. So she did Draco Malfoy. I was gonna say for Christmas, as if I have ever known a word or a phrase in my life. Oh, I saw a little puppy today dressed as a butterfly, and she was having the time of her life. In the window with the wings on. So cute. Oh, amazing.
I saw a dog dressed as sashimi, and the owner was also dressed as sashimi.
I gotta say, it's played out.
Is that played out?
Yeah, it's mad played out.
I haven't seen it before.
I've seen it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so fuck you. I will say that, like, when I was going to the Human Zoo show, it was a costume party type of show. And I was in, like, my very lazy superhero onesie thing. It looks cool, but it's, like, zero effort. You just slip into it, and she's done. And my sister was a witch because, like, she didn't know it was a costume party either. so we like had a hat, and she's a makeup artist, so she has all the makeup and everything. So she did a cool job, and then as we were leaving, I started laughing so hard that I started actually crying, and that's a problem when you're wearing lashes like this because you don't want them to get wet. And I was like, so I'm crying downward, and I'm like catching the tears in my hand like you do. And my mom was looking at me like, are you on drugs again? And I was like, she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, I just remembered now that nobody explicitly told me that it was a costume party and that we could just be the only people there that looked like this. And then when we parked at the venue, someone came outside and they weren't wearing a costume. And I was like, oh my God. And then a bunch of other people came outside and they were wearing costumes. So I was like, oh, thank God. But apparently Kim Kardashian went to a party dressed as the blue chick from X-Men, Mystique. And it wasn't a costume party. But also, like, you know, I'm starting to think Kim Kardashian might like attention, but I don't know. This might be a good indicator of that. Who else? Oh, that's cute. That's
Did you see
cute.
P. Diddy
P. Diddy?
as the Joker?
No. Was it great?
I mean, the costume was like very well done, but he was having like too much fun with it.
They all do. That's the problem.
Yeah, it was too much. I was like, this guy's like 50, I think.
It's so...
And it was just a little
Halloween
uncomfortable.
is cringe. I'm sorry.
He's just doing the
No
Joker
one on
laugh.
earth loves costumes more than me, and even I think Halloween is cringe. If you, I don't know. It's not cringe. Like, you're entitled to like what you like, but I don't know. I guess have fun. I guess have fun, and I'm just being a bitch and a slut.
No, tell them the truth.
P. Diddy. No, that is the truth. P. Diddy.
Give them the
costume.
tea.
Shut
Yes.
up. This is Lauren's Dreamhouse, not Dirt Destroys the Day. I'm calling this episode Dirt Destroys the Day. Because that's what's happening. Wait,
I'm adding brevity.
it led to a heated exchange?
What happened?
Oh wow, he looks exactly like... That's crazy. And also racist. Whiteface. Bold. In 2022. No, that's a really accurate costume, actually.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that I love very much is looking at things on the computer, like many people in podcasts do, but usually like they will post the reference, like the visual reference or screen recording of what they're talking about. Not this guy. You're gonna hear it and you will not see it. So know that. Know that. Yeah, so follow me on Twitter at Lauren Des Lareau. I'll be posting hot takes, fun, slick quips, life hacks, tea, and this is just some of what you can expect from my Twitter. Before, it was an account exclusively dedicated to bullying Uber to death, because as you may know, if you're down with the Dreamhouse lore, last year I was banned from Uber because someone stole my identity and bought $3,000 worth of chicken nuggets on my account. And when I disputed the charges, they ran multiple investigations and found that I was guilty of doing that, even though all of these transactions took place in Texas, a place to which I have never been. So that ban is still standing. It's been, it's been officially over a year, because that happened October 1st of last year, and still not resolved. But when I got, I hate those little mouse noises. When I got, my leg. When I got Uber banned, I was so desperate. Uber banned. When I got Uber banned, it was so I was getting no help whatsoever, even though I was a diamond member. 24/7 support my fucking dick, bro. And they pretty much just like told me to eat one. And so I took to Twitter and I was like, this is happening. Please help me get unbanned because I have a lot of rewards that I want to cash in on before they expire. All of my points and such. And then people would DM me from corporate. I would tag like Uber France, Uber Italy, Uber UK, Uber, everyone. And someone would get back to me. And then they would run the same investigation and make the same conclusion. So thankfully, because I roll with Bank of America and they pretty much don't fuck me at all, they didn't hold me liable for the charges, but Uber thinks that I like got away with ordering these insane quantities of McDonald's and not paying for it. So that's wild. And if any of you know someone from Uber corporate, I just met someone, or reconnected with someone rather, who has someone who works in Uber corporate, but it's a wild thing to ask. Like, hey stranger, like, can you get me unbanned for this thing that I promised you I didn't do? Who's Jason Bloom?
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. Yeah. Founder of Blumhouse. Is it Jason Blum? Blumhouse Productions. That kind of rings a bell. That's a horror thing, I guess. Cool. He went as a woman. Crazy. Good job. Also, Rihanna came out with that song, and I cried. I did. Lift Me Up. Lift me up, let me down. Literally was transported to Chadwick Boseman's funeral, and he kissed me on the forehead and told me everything was gonna be okay. But then I was like, I miss you. And then I saw Amy made me watch the Wakanda Forever trailer, and she was like, it deserves an Oscar. And I was like, that's a dumb thing to say. And then I saw it and I was like, this is a remarkable piece of work. Very good job. Very good job. That's probably the only superhero movie I will make an attempt to see. I will see Black Panther because I haven't and I didn't ever really want to. But now I'm going to see Wakanda Forever also. Number 23 on this BuzzFeed roundup of celebrity Halloween costume wearers is Eugene Lee Yang from fucking the Try Guys, and he's wearing a head to toe he looks like a human muscle. He looks like a big piece of exposed muscle, and it's completely covering him, and it's very Voldemort-y, and he's probably doing that so that people forget about the time that his best friend kissed a lady at the Harry Styles concert. Who didn't forget, though? This guy. Kerry Washington was Lionel Richie. That's hysterical. Oh, I did love Addison Rae doing Paparazzi, the best live music performance of the past 15 years, honestly. And I don't know, I think everyone else just kind of like wore a bald cap and sucked each other off. And if that doesn't scream Halloween, folks, I don't know what does. Excited for November, folks. Getting back on track. Getting back on the pod train. Back on consistency sicko mode. Sorry for the absence, but thank you for bearing with me. You know that I love you all very much. I'm shocked at the level of energy that I had during this, and a lot of you might say, well, it was very low energy. To that I would say, you should have seen me last night when I absolutely crashed like nothing you've ever seen. My body was on fire. I pushed myself to limits, and guess what, guys? Didn't find the limits. Okay, where is it? Where's the
Is it over there? Is it under there?
I can't seem to locate the limit for me. And you know what? She gets nastier every day. She's going hard for you guys. The link to the Cigarette Club tickets is in my Instagram bio at Lauren Des Leroux. LAURENDESLEROUX. Also, if you Google Cigarette Club Chelsea Music Hall, it will pop up. It's a Dice link. It's a link to the Dice website. You have to like download an app. Unfortunately, my mom was complaining to me about that. Some of you might have issues with that too. Or the rest of you have like joined the Century and have, you know, apps on your phone, which I assume is probably the case. But then you'll have the tickets on there, and then like God forbid if you can't go, you can like sell them to someone else who has the app immediately, like you're sending money through Venmo, which I think is very cool. And tickets are $25, $27.75 after tax and fees, and every dime and penny and the rest of the types of money that we offer here in this good country, every part of that money is going to the best show you will ever see. We have so many fucking people working on the show day in and day out, and I'm just thrilled to share that evening with you. It's going to be crazy, and I'm gonna be shaking that thing. If there's one thing that I'm gonna do, it's shake that motherfucking thing. So you know, find those tickets in my bio. Please buy them for your friends. Put it on fucking blast. We got Joe List, we got Mapparats, we got Chloe Trost, and we got Warm Things, which is Melissa Jubin and Dan Gagliardi, the funniest people I know, and then a very special guest that I don't know if I can say yet, but he's gonna be all up in that shit with your boy, and we're gonna be harmonizing, and we're gonna be reaching limits. Is the show titled Reaching Limits or DJ Dirt Destroys the Day?
I kind of like the second one.
I like DJ Dirt Destroys the Day too, because that is what he did. DJ Dirt is fired. You'll never see him again. Not that you see him, but honestly, are we mad?
I'll be back.
He'll be back. All right, folks. This has been Lauren's Dreamhouse. I'm Lauren Leroux. Thank you for spending time with me. And I love you. Buy tickets to my show or else I'm going to kill myself. Bye.